Hi guys! As you can see, I'm currently in the process of dyeing my hair. This is just the first go, so that's why it's a bit... I thought this would be a good time. I've seen a few videos uploaded on YouTube or some pictures on Instagram of people going through their hair history. And I've definitely made some interesting choices in my hair history before. I think I've kind of always had the idea that hair is very temporary. It grows back, nothing is permanent. So I've kind of been a little bit more experimental than maybe some people might be with my hair. I've actually never dyed it a crazy color before though, so that's my next thing that I'm wanting to go to, hence why I'm trying to lighten up my hair a bit more. I'm going to be embarrassed by some photos that I'm going to show you today. Hopefully you find them entertaining. I've made some interesting choices. I'm going to blame my best friend because she was there for all of these things and she let me do it. So, yes, the emo phase. What do I have to say about this one? I was expressing my emotions through my hairstyles and I was rejecting my natural curls. So I naturally have really curly big hair, and being a teenager I want exactly the opposite of what I've been given naturally. So I want dead straight, flat hair. So this is my kind of rebellion against how I was born, I guess. I dyed it jet black, so my hair is naturally kind of a caramelly brown. So yeah, I went down that kind of path. I like to call this my I have a wall-size poster of Pete Wentz phase of my life. This next generation I went through in my hair history, probably one of my favorites, to be honest. I just grew my hair out really long, really big. I started to embrace those natural curls a bit more. I kept it jet black, although it meant that I always had to wear makeup because I kind of had red undertones in my skin, and when you've got like blue-black hair with red undertones, it just kind of made me look more red. I hated going out of the house without makeup on. I actually really liked this style because I thought it kind of looked like I had dreadlocks, and I always really wanted dreadlocks in high school. I had this friend that knew me for a couple of years, and then I finally said one day, oh, I'd really like to get some dreadlocks. And they just looked at me and they were like, I thought you already had dreadlocks. So yeah, maybe I just didn't brush it often enough. I then decided in this next one that long black hair wasn't edgy enough for me, so I thought I'd get an undercut done. So I get the back part of my head shaved. Impulse, really. I think, yeah, I just wanted something different, so did that. And then the undercut wasn't edgy enough, so I started doing designs in the undercut, as you can see here. Those would always grow out really fast though, so I got to trial and error a little bit with a few different designs, and then it would grow out and then I'd get it shaved again. I went on the scavenger hunt one day with my hostel that I was staying at uni. One of the challenges on the scavenger hunt was to collect a piece of hair from one of the team members, like as much as you could, or cut off a chunk of hair. So I was just like, well, I've already got an undercut, so why not just go all the way around? So I just chopped off chunks of hair on the side to win the competition, which we did. I one day walked past this barber shop. They kind of looked a little bit thug, but I was just like, I really need a new cut because my hair was starting to get a bit long and weird. So I went in there and I found out that the guy that was cutting my hair, he actually specialized in different designs. So he did tribal and he did all this different stuff. And he asked me if I wanted to try one of his designs. And I thought, what the heck, it's not permanent. I may as well, it'll grow out soon. So I went for a geometric design. Yeah, that's that. Have you ever heard of those Rorschach that people hold up if you're going through like a psychiatric test and you have to see the first thing that comes to your mind when you look at the graph? My hair kind of became that. So everyone saw different things. Some people were like, oh, it looks like the Autobots logo from Transformers. And some people would be like, it looks like Illuminati. And some people were just, yeah, I don't know, everyone saw different stuff. That was quite fun. So I continued to grow my hair as long as I possibly could because I wanted that big dreadlocky hair, but I got bored of having massive long black hair, so I thought I'd two-tone dye it. And at the time everyone was doing ombre. So they were going from dark roots down to fading into a blonde on the bottom, and I was like, I don't want to be the same as everyone else. I want to do the opposite of everyone else because I'm alternative. I tried to do mine light to dark. Obviously I've got really naturally dark hair, so first time I tried to dye it, it just went orange and disgusting. Look at me now, commenting on orange and disgusting hair, and I'm sitting here looking like freaking Pikachu. So I thought I'd just embrace that even more and actually physically dye it orange. So I got some orange hair dye, dyed that sucker, got this weird ombre thing happening, and I was just like, yeah, this is cool. So I rocked that for a little while. Gosh. As you can see in this picture, it's just nothing matches. So I've got really long curly hair, and then I've got this straight fringe going on. And obviously when you dye your hair, it tends to grow out after a while. So then I had dark hair, orange chunk, dark regrowth again. So I had this like weird orange band, and it was just, woo! Glad I don't have photographic evidence of that one. I'm a lover of pretty much all things vintage. I love vintage stuff. I'm a huge fan of the 50s, like the style of 50s rockabilly. So I started to do this kind of curl under fringe for a little, or bangs or whatever you guys call them. We call it fringe in New Zealand. So I had a curl under fringe, and I got one singular hair roller, and I'd put that in and I'd roll it up when my hair was wet, and then it dried like this weird thing. I thought that was really cool at the time, and now I look back on photos and I just want to run away. Then I was done with the two-tone thing. My mum's just like, I just want your hair to be one color. It's like, okay, so I went dark again. I kind of perfected the fringe a little bit, although this photo here, I put this on Instagram, so obviously it was one of the better days that my hair was. You never show the bad hair days, you only show good hair days. Obviously having naturally curly hair and wanting to cut your hair in bangs or a fringe all the time, it's such intense upkeep to constantly straighten it, because if you just left it curly, it'd be like this weird 80s thing happening, like this poodle thing happening in your head. So I wanted to grow it out a bit. So I went back to my classic, I stopped dyeing it black, but I started dyeing it darkest brown. So I had this dark brown, massively curly hair. I loved it. It was just wild. I felt like I was dressing up for Halloween every day. Kind of a bit witchy, kind of like Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. And not that much upkeep, because you just have to maybe put in some leave-in conditioner and then let it go wild. But of course, again, after a while, I got bored of having like normal hair, just one tone. Why do I do this? So I cut it, and I did like a dip dye thing. I actually wanted to do a faded dark to blonde, because I decided that I liked that now because it was going out of fashion. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that now. What a rebel. So alternative. This was actually 2 months before I was getting married. So I knew that whatever I did to my hair now is probably what I was planning on keeping for the wedding. So yeah, I went to a barber. Ryan was getting his haircut, and I was like, what the heck, I'll just do it while I'm here. Why do I never trust women hairdressers? I should just do that because they've been trained with women's hair, but no. I just continue to be under the belief that barbers are going to be the best thing for my hair. So I let a barber dye my hair. It was actually a woman, but yeah, she's obviously trained in cutting men's hair. And I told her I wanted this fade thing, and she's like, I can't do that. And I was like, can you try? And she's like, oh, it's going to be really hard. And she tried to talk me out of it, and I was just like, I want to do it still. So she ended up doing it for me. She was like, it's not going to be a fade though, it's just going to be blonde and then brown. And I was like, whatever, just, I'm sure it'll look fun. So she did that, and yeah, I did kind of like it for a while actually. This is the hair that I did end up having at my wedding. I quite enjoyed it. Then my hair started growing, and I just felt like the proportions are a little bit weird. Like the amount of natural hair to blonde just kind of disturbed me. I got Ryan's mum to dye my hair, just like a caramelly brown, to try and bring it to the natural. And it faded a little bit over time, which actually was really nice because it kind of looked like it had some random highlights in it and stuff. So that's what this looked like. And this is my most recent hair before this whole shebang going on here. And it's a fairly normal hairstyle. So again, guess what? I got bored of it. And we're currently in Canada. Ryan's got a job here, which is awesome. I don't have a work permit though, so I'm gonna be working as soon as we get home. But for now, I'm just taking some time, recover from everything. We've had the craziest year, so I'm recovering. So I don't have to go to a job, which means that I can kind of dye my hair any crazy color I want. So I've taken this opportunity to finally do what I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's to dye it a color. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to not look like a banana anymore. I dyed it just yesterday, first wave of dye. I'm gonna wait 2 weeks for it to recover, just keep it in coconut oil, keep it moisturized so that it just doesn't die completely. And yeah, I'm gonna do it again and give you guys an update. I don't mind looking like this though. Some days you look like Angelina Jolie when you've got the right filters on. And some days you look like Pikachu. How dark are my brows gonna be though once my hair's really blonde? I like it. Very Mother of Dragons. I'm gonna dig it. But that's been my hair history. I hope you guys have got some entertainment out of my embarrassment. I'm glad that these photos could come to use, finally. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all your support. Every time you watch a video, I just get happy feelings. If you want to support me, the best way to do that is to give me a thumbs up on this video. With all the crazy stuff in the world that's going on right now, hopefully this can just put a little bit of a smile on your face, or even just a little cringe. Sometimes a little cringe can make you feel better about your own life, and I'm happy to do that for you. Thanks for watching!